Good afternoon. This is the video newsletter for Sunday, January 16th. Very nice session on Friday. It's typically bullish when we see the market gain like it did on a Friday ahead of a long 3-day weekend. Very, very bullish, much to the chagrin of the bears and the shorts yet again. And, even though the indices, you can't say they're not overbought with a straight face. The market is overbought, at least the large caps right now. But look at the business headlines that we're seeing, or what we're hearing on the boob tube, CNBS, et cetera, and articles, saying be careful, this rally's about to end, be careful, things are overbought, we're going to retrace. That's actually a good thing to be reading. You get worried when the experts on TV are telling you new highs are coming. You don't get worried when they're telling you, hey, be careful, the market's topped here. These are the same clowns who, when the market's at the bottom, are the ones telling you to run for the hills. So until we see the business media really do an about turn and flip ultra bullish, then we're probably going to see more of the same. Shorts get bent over a barrel and small caps continue to do very well. Looking at the Dow 15-minute chart right here, we continue to ride nicely higher, and you can see these circles here. We've got what looks to be an inverse or an upside down head and shoulders formation. Here is the left, here is the right, here is the head. Typically, this is a very bullish indicator. We did make new highs during this past week, and just looking at this inverse head and shoulders on the 15-minute chart, the negativity that's out there, the shorts who are running around, and the fact that we closed pretty nicely on Friday bodes well for at least early this week. Market is closed tomorrow, so again, we're going to have to take our cue. Anything can happen news-wise, so we're going to have to see how Europe acts, how the dollar acts. But, just going off those little bit of indicators, and even with the poor economic data we had last week, market still slowly moved higher. You can see on the daily chart, I've continued to say it over the last month or so, this is a perfect move if you're in small cap stocks. Slow, steady, no big down days really to talk about. Lets the speculative money flow, and when speculative money flows, small caps do very, very well. You'll also note over the last couple of weeks of this year, volume has started to pick up nicely here, and that's very, very good. ADX rock solid, and you recall last week in the video I mentioned that stochastics was set up just like it was back there in October or November when we had that nice little move. So things looking really, really good here in the near term. SMH, fat little breakout here, and look what happened. Here comes the volume on the breakout. We broke 10 million volume on Friday ahead of a holiday weekend on a breakout move. If you jumped into our breakout trade that we mentioned, 33.25 was the breakout, you're up, $1.20 here over the last 3 days on the SMH. Just fantastic. Volumes coming in. We've got a positive MACD cross. All the indicators look good. Next stop, $35. And, like I said, SMH determines where the tech stocks are going to go. And just judging by the SMH, things looking really, really good here in the near term. U.S. dollar, over the last couple of days, we've had these moron bears out, buying puts. The top is in. This is like the 58th top we've had called by these clowns in the last 58 days. Eventually they'll be right. Although even a broken clock is right twice. These clowns haven't been right in forever. Dollar, nice little breach here. We've got that double bottom support at 78.80-ish. We break through that, and this is our fuel for the market over the next week or so. What we have upcoming, the 25th of January, is a 2-day FOMC meeting. I'm thinking this rally probably or could have legs into that meeting. And the dollar, over the last couple of FOMC meetings has actually bounced right after the FOMC meeting. So we could see weakness continue on the dollar for another week or so before we get that bounce that we've seen after every Fed meeting over the last few months. So that's what we're looking like on the large caps. Stock plays. CYBY or CYBI. Cybex International trading alert on Friday. This, I'm going to have to pound my table on this one. This one looks like an absolute gem right now. And the reason being, you can see here the stock tanked in early December. And the reason for this was they had a 2004 lawsuit. They're an exercise equipment company. And a piece of their equipment that's been used a million times, that's been in place in a gym since 1983. What's that, 27 years? Someone used it, it fell on them, and they got seriously injured. It's been in court. They had a jury award them $66 million in December, and the stock went splat. Just to add bullish powder to this keg, the Street.com came out and downgraded it. Perfect. If you check the website, there's a study that was just done that when analysts say sell, it's the time to buy. I mean, it's common sense for us. We've been saying it for years, but just another bullish indicator in this. Nice little tank. Jury awards, they never get paid. They get pushed off into infinitum. I'm making a word up there, but they're going to appeal this. There was a shareholder letter. We'll probably get a press release saying they're going to appeal it. This is a very, very cheap exercise equipment play given what has happened with its peer. Let's check out NLS. Nautilus Group, exact same sector, exercise equipment. Actually, this is a stock we tagged back in October and November in the $1.30 area. That's up, 100% since then. But check out the move over the last 3 weeks on NLS. 100% move with a peer that sells the exact same thing that CYBI does. CYBI would probably be doing the same thing as NLS if it wasn't for this little sell-off going into year end. We've got a perfect January popper setup here. Breakout is 77 cents. First target is 99 cents to 50-day moving average, but this is a stock that could easily see a move back to the 200-day moving average at 140. Insiders own 50% of this company. The chart looks great in my opinion. We've got RSI about to break 50. Stochastic bounce off the 50 level. All things are coiled for a fat move on this one. Any dips, 75 cents and under, would be looking to accumulate. I think this one is going to be a monster mover for us over the next few days. So I'm pounding the table on this CYBI. WZE, Wizard Software, volume has just hit this one big time over the last couple of days. Like I've been saying, this is a play into Macworld, and to be patient after the morons sold out of it on the Verizon iPhone news there on Tuesday. Over the last 2 days, volume has seriously come into this stock. We had it up nicely on Friday. We've got a cup and handle breakout here now on WZE. Next move is move to 47 to 50 cent plus here on this one, and we're looking really, really good on this one. BCON, Beacon. Nice little pop over the last couple of days, or early midweek. In the last 2 days, it's been sort of treading water. Nice snapback pop off the resistance line that broke this past week into the close on Friday. And, this one could be setting up for a move this week to the 200-day moving average up there at 32 cents. All it's going to take probably is a press release saying that their flywheel power plant has gone into operation, and we're off to the races on this one. I mean, look what Turd PLUG has done over the last week. Look at that. 100% move. And this one's a piece of crap, and it moved 100%. So the other ones, BCON and our other little sympathy play, QTWW, breakout on this one would be a close at 50 cents. And, we're looking for 63 cents here. RSI about to break 50. Stochastics looking really, really good. On balance, volume has had a nice little spike over the last week. This one, it's just a matter of when it sees 60s, not if, in my opinion. DSCM, drugstore.com. This is a play we've been in many times over the last month or so. Did another breakout on Friday. Remember when we first jumped into this one under 2? Our target was the 200-day moving average. Hit it on the nose on Friday. This is a definite takeover candidate, in my opinion, and we're looking at probably seeing this one move over the next, couple of weeks to the $3 area, in my opinion. All the indicators look really, really good here, and we've had heavy volume come into it. If you're trailing or stops on it right now, 8-day moving average at 220. Next target is 275 to 3 on this one. Now, the next couple of plays, we've been noticing a trend, at least this week. Robots are getting very active in the stocks in the $1 to $2 range. And what's happening is there's a very large ask on the stock. Volume comes in, the robots take over, volume explodes, and you'll see the stock just explode to the upside and then get walked down to the day low later in the day. BPAX was one of those. We sent out a trading alert at $1.75. This is one we've talked about over the last few days. It was also on the popper scanner for a couple of days. This one went from $1.75 to $1.84 within like 1 minute. Robots hit it and it went voomp, and then, like I said, bled slowly throughout the rest of the day. But the chart here looks fantastic in my opinion. RSI looks really good. Heavy volume over the last couple of weeks. ADX has just gone vertical. But check out the unbalanced volume. Unbalanced volume has just gone just vertical over the last couple of weeks. The big move here and then the drop was because of financing, but the volume over the last week has taken those financing shorts out of the equation, in my opinion. Would look for follow through on this week. And this is one. If we get a breakthrough at $1.80 early this week, we're looking at 220 plus minimum, in my opinion. So keep a very close eye here. You can trail your stops to the 20-day exponential at 166, and would look to add this one $1.75 and under. JOEZ, awesome breakout on Thursday. Nice follow through gap Friday morning. We got as high as $1.74, and then just like that, what was at $1.66. Similar thing to BPAX. The robots came in, jammed it up, walked it down, reloading. Next move through $1.70 should clear the way for a move up there to $1.80 and $2 on this one. TSEM, Tower Semiconductor. SMH is breaking out. Why not play a laggard semiconductor stock? This one, though, trades a lot of volume, has a lot of active robots in it. As you could see what happened on Friday. Monster ass gets eaten, stock pops, monster ass appears, then a monster bid. It's the robots playing back and forth. Chart looks really, really good here. Target here, we're looking for a move to 160, 169. Stops, check out the moving average convergence here. All the moving averages are about to cross up. We've got the 20-day, 50-day about to break through the 200-day moving average. So, this one is set up nicely with the indicators here. And, I would not be surprised to see this one gap and run come Tuesday morning. PRKR, nice move Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we got a decent open, another shakeout, which has been typical on these stocks, but it held the 55-cent area, and we'd look for, a snapback move this week. GSAT, Global Star. I think this is going to be the week for GSAT. Bottomed out January popper setup play. It's been, classic setup here. Straight downtrend, essentially from October, November. Bottoming action here over the last couple of weeks. Breakout is the 50-day moving average at 151, and we could easily see a move to 160, 175 with very strong support at the $1.35 area. I'm thinking this one is going to go this week. Would be looking to accumulate it 144 and under. RSI, let me scroll up there. RSI about to break 50. Positive MACD cross on Friday. Stochastics, buy level. And this sort of action that we see here on stochastics over the last month, you don't see this a whole lot of times, especially on a stock that loves to go up to that 80 level. So I'm thinking we're going to see a move here to the 80s on stochastics on GSAT over the next week or two. And with that move up to there on the stochastics, we're probably looking at a move to the 200-day moving average plus on GSAT. So that's it for the video tonight. Continue to watch those January popper scans. We had a lot of plays on it this past week, spitting out some nice plays. I'm going to add a new wrinkle to that. We're going to do a popper scan play for stocks from the $5 to $10 range for those of you that like to play those higher price stocks. But going into this week, I absolutely love the setup on CYBI as well as our other plays. But this one, I think we're going to be very, very happy on it. We're in before the crowds. Probably up here in the ones is where everyone will wake up to this stock. It'll be the next hot thing just like all our other plays that we've had monster moves on over the last couple of weeks. Make sure you check your inboxes. I sent out an 18-page biotech trading ebook free for you guys. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And, that's it for the video. Enjoy your Monday break from the market, and I will see you guys in the chat room Tuesday. Goodbye.